Sometimes travel makes you do the things that you fear most in life. I always said I wanted to be pushed out of my comfort zone. And of course, it never goes the way you expect. Excited?
Like every time.
You look it like every time.
Yeah, it's morning.
It is 8:30 in the morning and we got here for open because we're cool. But we're honestly just trying to avoid all the crowds, so hopefully we made it. This geothermal area that we are walking through is called Wai-O-Tapu, and it's a series of brightly colored geothermal pools, mud baths, and explosive geysers. First examples of collapsed craters where the acidic steam coming from underground has caused ground collapse. What if you were standing and then the ground just collapsed? Then you would be in there. I would be so happy.
Yeah.
We are at the Champagne Pool. This is the largest hot spring in New Zealand and it's super cool. Look at this orange and green. Wow. The clouds, or not the clouds, but the steam keeps moving consistently. But it's so beautiful. One of the most iconic photo spots from New Zealand's North Island, or the iconic photo you see on Instagram, is the Champagne Pool. Do you want to smile? It gets its name from its abundance of carbon dioxide, much like a glass of bubbling champagne, creating this dreamlike champagne pool. The crater is about 65 meters in diameter and roughly the same in depth, but don't think about jumping in because it's usually around 73 degrees Celsius, but 260 degrees Celsius at its deepest, so you'd for sure die. That is dope. Okay, that's really cool. What? That's so green. What? How on earth does it get that color? Does it say?
It's extremely acidic.
So you want to touch it?
Hmm?
You want to touch
Maybe
it?
I can throw you
Oh, yeah.
straight away.
What does this say? This crater is filled with excess water from the Champagne Pool. Amazing color result of a deposit mineral being suspended in the water. What?
Maybe the people ils savent comment lire.
Qui?
Les gens. Pourquoi tu répètes?
Bah, je sais pas.
Ah, pas je sais.
C'est pour moi. Look at this. This is so cool. I've never seen anything like this. This deep crater, called Devil's Bathtub, was created from an eruption deep underground. The iridescent lime color comes from the sulfur floating on the surface. Last but not least is the Lady Knox Geyser.
There's approximately 150 active geysers in this area. If we fast forward, the number dwindles down to 15, Lady Knox being one of them. Now, just when we parked your cars this morning was New Zealand's first open prison camp. Now, the prisoners sent there were required to do manual labour in clearing this area of bush and shrubbery. Now, as they were clearing this area, they came across a hot spring, much to one down there. Now, being New Zealanders, they thought, why not use this hot spring? So they decided, they grabbed some soap and they grabbed their clothes and they came down after a hard day's work and stripped down and started washing their clothes in the hot spring and naturally washing themselves. Now, legend says one of the prisoners dropped a bar of soap in. Whether that happened, we'll never know until someone invents a time machine. So they were washing their clothes and suddenly the hot spring started to bubble and bubble, and can you guess what happened? It erupted, sending their underwear all up in the air, and naked prisoners were running off in all directions. Now, apparently I'm here to recreate that for you, but I think I'll keep my clothes on.
So, that was a little anticlimactic. Do you know what that means?
Non, j'ai mal à la tête.
Well, it was cool, but it kind of felt like a science experiment. Like somebody just...
It sucks.
It didn't suck. It was cool.
Just for this kind of thing.
There are a lot of people. It was cool. Like, I'm glad we saw it, but I think the whole inducing part of it kind of killed it. It's just like a giant volcano. I mean, it's authentic though. I mean, it's still cool, but Eddie's not happy, but he's sick. Grumpy.
Grumpy Eddie.
So there's been quite a change of plans. Eddie feels sick. He was gonna come do this Waimangu Volcanic Valley hike with me, which I'm on right now, but instead he's going back to Rotorua. I decided last minute that I want to go to Tongariro Alpine Crossing, which is an 8-hour hike tomorrow to Mount Doom. But I don't have a ride there, so magically I am gonna do this hike, hopefully hitchhike to Taupo, where I'm gonna stay in a hostel, catch a shuttle tomorrow at 5:20 a.m. to go on that hike, and then when I'm done, make it back to Rotorua, again magically, hitchhiking. I guess that's not really magically. So we're gonna try to rush this hike a little bit because there's a lot to do. Waimangu Volcanic Valley is the world's youngest geothermal valley. But it has somewhat of a sad history to it. While it's absolutely stunning to hike around and see the beautiful scenery, it used to look completely different. Between the 1840s and 1886, this place was the original New Zealand tourist destination. People would travel far and wide just to come here and see the pink and white terraces, which were considered to be one of the 8 wonders of the world. Unfortunately, in 1886, Mount Tarawera erupted, completely destroying the Waimangu Valley, blasting Lake Rotorua to 20 times its original size and 170 meters deeper. It completely destroyed or maybe buried the pink and white terraces under the lake floor. 7 craters erupted south of Lake Rotorua and hot springs appeared in the eruption craters. All vegetation in the valley was obliterated and the village of Te Wairoa was buried by rocks, ash and mud thrown out from the eruption. 120 people living near the mountain and lake were killed. Since then, scientists and geologists have been searching for those lost terraces, and as of 2018, they have concluded that they are in fact buried deep under Lake Rotorua. After the Tarawera and Waimangu eruption, it was the beginning of a whole new ecosystem. While several changes have been made to this area, it's still very beautiful and some new natural wonders have been created, like Frying Pan Lake, which is one of the world's largest hot springs, or Inferno Crater. So I've reached the Inferno Crater. It was only about 20-minute walk, I would say, with a bunch of taking photos just to get here. It's very beautiful. It's very blue. It's called the Inferno Crater because it's used to represent or describe the portal to the underworld by the surveyors who mapped the area in 1886 after the eruption. So yeah, really pretty, really pretty. Waimangu and Rotorua are very unique because they're the only examples of a New Zealand native forest that is naturally regenerating from complete devastation. Some of you guys have asked me how I meet all these people, and you know, I'm a solo traveler, but I don't seem to be alone. The answer is New Zealand Backpacker Facebook group. Basically, I just go on there and I posted, hey, I want to do this hike if anybody wants to join me. And that's how I have some people joining me to take the shuttle. I've got all my stuff with me now. This is my bag that's gonna last me, well, today, tomorrow, and potentially another day if I don't make it back. So we'll see. But it's gotta be light because I'm hiking. Did you have that big pen? The big marker? Thank you. Okay, back at the cafe. Now I'm about to write down a sign going to Taupo. Honestly, I've never hitchhiked by myself before, so I am a little bit nervous. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm just standing right outside of the entrance where there's a sign that says this way to Taupo. So I've got my sign and we'll see how long this takes. I am gonna put my camera away just so it doesn't look like I have expensive electronics, and then I have the other side for when I need to get back tomorrow. So after waiting for an hour, I finally found somebody to give me a ride, this lovely couple. This is Sandra and Bryn, they're from Wales.
We are.
And instead of going directly to Taupo, they are going to a waterfall. So we're gonna go see a waterfall and then they'll drop me off in Taupo, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's cool to see how the day changes. And you have the same name as my mom, so that's good luck. Well, that was awesome. I waited for an hour before that couple picked me up, and actually right as they pulled up to say that I could hop in the car with them, I was about to give up and go get a coffee because I was starting to think like, oh my gosh, nobody's heading to Taupo. And they weren't. Actually, they were headed to this waterfall. So when we got to the waterfall, they're like, do you want to come join us? And I was like, okay, sure. So that was cool. It's just, you never know where the adventure's gonna take you. And now I'm in Taupo. I'm actually gonna go meet this girl that responded to my post on Facebook about doing the Alpine crossing together. So I think we're gonna go get some food, and then there's a grocery store back here. I'm gonna go get some stuff for the trek. But yeah, that was pretty darn easy. That did not take long. Hi, are you okay?
Yes.
Hi. Happy, nice to meet you.
Did you just arrive?
Yes, I did.
If you'd like to get exclusive videos on my daily life, advice on travel, and being an influencer, go to patreon.com/where'spoppy. Get access to early releases, updates about my travels, exclusive monthly Q&A videos, and my secret podcast. If you feel more secure with PayPal, you can always just send a donation to paypal.me/supportwhere'spoppy. For information about my film equipment, travel insurance, music, VPN, other social media accounts, and more, check out those links in the description below. Thanks for watching. You don't like the smell? Ew.
Yeah, just you want to, puke.
It's really cool, but it smells so bad.